Every day at Toronto Airsoft, either by phone, email, or in person, somebody always asks the question, what's the best airsoft gun?
What's the best gun? What's the best gun? What's the best gun? What's the best gun?
Hi guys, I'm Steve from Toronto Airsoft, and I'm back again today to answer that question and also propose a little bit of a challenge. To answer it, there is no such thing as the best airsoft gun. It's what's best for you, your needs, and your budget. But in a particularly bombarding episode of questions, I was thinking, what about the cheapest gun that we sell at Toronto Airsoft going up against something upgraded? So that's the premise of this video today. I have our cheapest entry-level airsoft gun in front of me going up against something that is 8 times its cost. As I mentioned, this is our entry-level gun that we're going to be using, and as of the making of this video, this is the cheapest new gun that we sell at Toronto Airsoft at approximately $230 Canadian. This is the Valken ASL Mod M. No real major upgrades. It's a version 2 gearbox, no MOSFET inside. Just a very, very simple entry-level gun. I really have to give credit to this market segment, to these entry-level airsoft guns. Ever since G&G a few years ago came out with the combat machines, they have basically revolutionized the quality that you find in entry-level. So again, the rail, the upper receiver, the lower receiver, it's all out of polymer, but it's that nice fiber reinforced polymer. I've also outfitted it with a grip. This is one of the cheapest grips we have in the stores, just our clone angled grips that come in at approximately $20. And as well too, I wanted to top it off with a red dot sight, and this is the Valken RDA 20, which is approximately $55. And again, those are the costs at the making of this video, and they're subject to change in the future. So not a lot here to write home about, but definitely a very good entry-level setup, and this is completely out of the box. I just put on the stock, I just put on the optic, I threw in a 7.4 LiPo battery, which is what I would recommend running in this particular rifle because it doesn't have a MOSFET, and then that's it. I zeroed everything, did the hop up. There's been no other changes. This is bone stock as it gets. So moving on back here, I'm just gonna take it off the stand. This is the custom VFC. So right off the bat, full metal in terms of the furniture and everything like that. Inside, this gun has been fully upgraded. Prometheus type bore barrel, Black Talon Concepts Spectre MOSFET, which is programmable. The entire platform is set for 0.28 BBs, so that is what we will be using out on the range as well too. It's also optimized for battery efficiency. The motor and the gearbox are shimmed and meshed together for minimal resistance to maximize battery life, and also trigger response to be very fast. So not a particular high speed build or maximum range, but a very gameable, just a very gameable build that could be used in indoor and outdoor. That's been set to 0.28s. Again, because this was built over many different years and with labor and different techs kind of working on it, it's hard to get a definitive cost. You cannot buy this basically at any store, but approximate value is $2,500 in terms of everything that went into this gun here. So when you compare it to about the $300 Valken, it's definitely not a fair fight when we're talking about cost, but where is it in terms of performance? And that's where we're hoping this challenge will shed a little bit of light. So now that I've talked about both guns, we're gonna take them outside now to Siege Airsoft to start doing the shooting challenge. We're gonna be doing a chronograph. The Valken is going to be rocking 0.2 gram BBs because that's what most people would be using, especially here at Siege. And as mentioned, the custom VFC will be using 0.28 gram BBs because that's what it's tuned and set for. As well too, we'll get some footage where we were zeroing both guns. We were able to zero both guns really well. I also want to say at this point too, neither of these guns are mine, and I have the same trigger time on both of them. So I don't favor one platform versus the other, but I was able to zero both of them. Okay guys, here we are at the siege range that we've set up for the little demonstration between the two guns. So we basically have 4 different stations in the shooting range, 2 precision and 2 high speed, to kind of simulate the flow of an airsoft game. Things happen fast and then sometimes you have to wait on somebody to do something, so we wanted to show it here. We're starting in station number 1 here, and station number 1 is a Texas Star. As soon as you start shooting the targets, that starts getting dynamic. It introduces some movement through there. So we'll be starting in the low ready, and then we'll be going through an audio cue to kind of get started. So precision station number 1, Texas Star. From here, we'll be running to the barrier. So this is station number 2, and utilizing this high piece of cover here, we'll basically be doing 2 shots on the right and 2 shots on the left. And we'll basically be going for that steel target in between the 2 wooden pallets. Again, just a little bit of high speed, but it introduces a shoulder transition, which I wanted to get in there from right-handed to left-handed. So once you finish 2 shots on either side of the high cover, we'll run to station number 3. That's a high speed drill. So station number 3 is right here, and again this is going to be high speed, and this is a variation of the 2-2-4-2-2. So we'll do 2 shots on left target, 2 shots on right target, 4 shots on the middle target, 2 shots on the right target, and 2 shots on the left target. Again, high speed, just kind of spread fire, multiple targets holding them down, and then we'll run here to the last. So this station right here, this is our last one, and this is a precision shot to the pallet down there against the black wall. Center target. It's a very small little hole with a little metal plate behind it. 1 shot at a time to here. It's a precision station. So we're going to shoot, wait for confirmation, audio confirmation that the target has hit, and then if it hasn't, we'll shoot again. And once we get it right in the center target there, get a ping, that will stop the time, and that will be the time there for that run. So nice little course of fire, nothing too advanced, but again, a little fast, a little slow, should be a good test for both these rifles.
Shoot ready.
Oh, damn it. Ready.
Ran a 30.28.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes, and that's after switching back.
30.8. So, okay, so like
Or 0.4 or 0.6.
0.6, yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
So like half a second almost. Half a second faster. But again, yeah, they're close. They're close. So as you can see, guys, with the range footage, I was actually able to get a very similar time between the Valken and the custom VFC. I believe it was about a half a second that I ended up being faster on the Valken, but to me, that's pretty much about the same time. So thoughts. Running the Valken on the range, having an all polymer gun in terms of the externals, extremely lightweight. The shoulder transitions were great. Going from the low ready to the shooting stance was really, really good. That was all great there. Running a 7.4 volt LiPo battery with the, again, stock trigger version 2 no MOSFET, definitely it felt like I was pushing the Valken through the shooting challenge. On the high speed drill, especially the 242 drill, it definitely felt like I was, again, pushing the Valken to hit those targets faster and things like that. But overall, I was very impressed, and as I said, I was able to zero the gun really well, which was very good for the sight and optic, and a very gameable platform. If I had this in my hands here at Siege or in any airsoft field, I wouldn't feel like, you know, it's going to be a bad day or I'm at a disadvantage. However, that being said, the custom VFC, you know, running this guy, of course, the trigger was buttery smooth. Every time I shot this rifle, it felt like it could always shoot faster. The rate of fire that's achievable in this is double the rate of fire on the fully automatic, and you could feel it through the trigger response. Again, the high speed drills, really, really good. It was easy to go fast. I believe in the hands of a more experienced airsofter or in the hands of its actual owner, if they were doing the same shooting challenge, they would probably be able to post an even faster time than me. However, being a full metal build, and especially with this full front rail, my shoulder transitions, I did stumble. The first time I did the shoulder transition, I believe I was trying to grab the rail and I ended up grabbing like the Magwell magazine. So, you know, it's when you get used to it, you would get used to it, but even me holding it here in my hands, that weight, it adds on as the day goes on. But again, like a very fast shooting gun, you know, really nice. I didn't talk about as well too, this has the trademarks and everything like that, which adds to the value. But again, $2,500. This rifle, approximately $300. The cost, vastly different, and it's not fair. And again, this is custom. You can't even buy this, you know, off the shelf. However, the performance between the two, it's a lot closer. One thing to discuss, if you did want to do a little boost on performance on the Valken, you could swap out the 7.4 2-cell LiPo battery for a 3-cell 11-1. However, you might burn out your trigger contacts a little bit faster. There are very simple MOSFETs that you could basically solder into the gun. It would require a little bit of electrical experience, but that would save your trigger contacts. That would probably be the only internal upgrade to make this a little bit closer to the custom VFC. But truth be told, I would use it for what it is. An entry-level airsoft gun, great for gaming. If I then decided, hey, I want to stay in the hobby, I want to do, you know, I want to get something a little bit better, then I would totally head to something like this, a nice VFC with trademarks, Again, if there was a particular gun I saw in a movie or in a television show, or just, again, I want to create something or whatever, this is what I would spend money on and build up over time. However, I would never get rid of the Falcon. Always great to keep a backup. Something might happen to this gun, or you're in the midst of upgrading it, it's out of commission, you have a gun to play with. As well too, if you ever go to a field and stuff like that and you want to go with a friend, you have a terrific backup gun now. Your friend just has to pay the field entry fee. They don't have to pay a rental fee and stuff like that. So again, even though the cost vastly different, this was not a fair challenge between these two rifles. We're able to see, again, entry-level airsoft has gone up so much. And again, I have to tip my hat to companies like G&G, like Falcon, like even Lancer Tactical. They are starting to step up their game, better quality control. Again, the accuracy, all right? We were able to zero both these guns on the same targets from the same range. That's incredible. You rewind the clock back a few years, entry-level airsoft would be all over the place in terms of, inconsistent inner barrels and things like that. So I'm super happy with where the performance and cost ratio of airsoft is going. And like I said, I would totally rock this Falcon on any field, CQB, outdoor, you name it. It's really, really good. Thanks everybody for sticking around to the end. Please let us know in the comments as well your thoughts on the challenge. We read all the comments, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. We have a lot more content that we'd like to bring out into the future. I hope everybody is staying safe, and I can't wait to see you all out on the field.